Thank you. A few weeks before we left on the trip of a lifetime, we had the good fortune of meeting this delightful Frenchman. And after talking for a little while, I felt comfortable enough to say to him, I've heard that the French can be really rude to Americans. So when we go on our bucket list trip, can you give us a few survival tips, please? And he was so kind to do so. Number 1, never start the conversation in English. Always French. Okay. Number 2, always be polite. S'il vous plaît for please and merci for thank you. All right. Number 3, always be formal. Madame for miss, monsieur for sir. Whew. Okay. And make sure you understand the French can-do attitude, which looks like this. And that means you can do it on your own. Okay, that's good to know. We wound up in this little town called Chartres, and since there was absolutely no nightlife over there, we decided this would be a fantastic place to do our laundry because everything else is closed, and we would end up in Paris over New Year's with a suitcase full of absolutely clean clothes. Yes. Unfortunately, the hotel clerk was not very good with maps. And the map she drew us didn't take us to a laundromat. So we walked around in circles all over the place, and I don't know how, but we wound up at a laundromat. We were cranky, we were tired, but we couldn't take off our winter coats because, being geniuses, we had decided to do all of our laundry. We had bathing suits on underneath, but you can't exactly walk around in a laundromat in that. We entered the place, and we were mortified to see that all of the instructions were in French, not English. I didn't even know how to buy soap. There was a lady with a mop. I walked up to her. In my best French, I said, "Excusez-moi, madame, hamon, s'il vous plaît?" And she replied, Using our limited Spanish skills back from high school days, my husband and I translated enough of the French words to figure out how to buy the soap and how to start these machines. Eventually, we settled in for a nice, relaxing evening at a laundrette. I pulled out my travel guide. I flipped through to the phrases to make sure that I could review a little bit. It turns out I had asked the woman with the mop for ham in Spanish. Stupid American. Now, as my husband filled out postcards, we were watching all of the residents from the apartments who lived upstairs come down, take out their clothes out of the washing machines, and take them back upstairs to line dry. After a while, there were only 2 machines running. Our clothes in the dryer with about 10 minutes left, and then somebody's wash in the washing machine. When suddenly, poosh! The washing machine exploded open and started vomiting water and clothes. Oh my gosh! My husband went for a mop. I ran over to the clothes and started shoving things into the washing machine. When I came across the most beautiful lace bra I had ever seen, that was obviously owned by somebody who is far more voluptuous than I. And as I held it up into the light to admire this work of art, my husband yelled, "Stop dreaming! Clothes!" So I finished shoving the clothes back in. I got the door shut, but it was too late. There was water everywhere. My husband comes over sloshing through the water, and he said, "The closets are locked. There's no mop." We looked around for security cameras. There weren't any. That means people would think it was the stupid Americans who did this. We can't take mugshots in bathing suits. So my husband goes over to the dryer. He gets all of the damp clothes out, packs it up into the plastic bags. I ran over and I grabbed the book. I got our postcards, put it into the tote bag. We run out to the street and realized we don't know which way to go. We were lost when we got here. So we headed to the only business that was open on the street, a cafe. Thank goodness the waiter spoke English. He said, "Welcome. You can hang the coats by the door." "No, merci." We put our clothes underneath the table. He said, "Would you like to order?" And for us, wine and cheese are comfort foods, and we really needed comforting. I mean, we just almost had an international incident. So I said to the waiter in my best French, "Excusez-moi, monsieur. S'il vous plaît, fromage and vin rouge. Fromage, cheese is for dessert. You must first have your appetizer, and then you have your entree, and then you have fromage. My husband and I looked at each other, we looked at the waiter, and we replied, fromage and vin rouge, s'il vous plaît. When he brought over the wine, we toasted to teamwork. You see, no matter how physically strong you are, how fiercely independent you are, how intelligent you are, when you are facing an international incident or perhaps the greatest opportunity of your career, you can be more productive and more efficient when you assemble your team. Thank you.